I just want to let you all know that we have plenty of food, so if you're feeling like seconds, please help yourself. And we have some more red and white wine up there as well. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of information and try and catch our Chef Charles' attention here in a couple minutes and have him describe the program and all of the things that he's trying to do in the kitchen to make our dining experience a little bit better with the Meals on Wheels and the new gourmet stage program. Just to give you a scope of what we do at Council on Aging and the Meals on Wheels program, we have the routes and the drivers and the vans and the dining sites all set up and running, and making sure that all the seniors in Sonoma County who need the Meals on Wheels program are getting their meals timely and getting a visit from our nice driver volunteers. And oftentimes our drivers are the only people that our seniors do see during the day. So it kind of covers a lot of different bases as far as providing nutrition, saying hi, how's it going, and if there's any issues, then they come back and we do some wellness checks and talk to case management and things like that. So it really does serve a lot of purposes. One of the other things that we're doing at Council on Aging right now is the drivers noticed that when they were delivering Meals on Wheels to seniors who had pets, the pets looked really happy when the drivers got there, as well as the seniors, because the seniors were sharing their meals with their pets. So that chicken got stretched a lot of ways during the day. And what we implemented now is called a Kibbles of Kindness program. So not only are our drivers delivering a really nice meal to our seniors, they're delivering a month's supply of pet food as well. So now we have some healthier seniors because they're able to eat all of their meal. We have some very happy pets because they're now getting some really nice, well-balanced pet food. So we're really trying to make a more of an impact in nutrition of the seniors' lives and of their pets, because it's proven that pets really do increase the independence and balance and emotional support of people who wouldn't often have other forms of that in their lives. So we're really trying to look at the situation as a whole and help the entire, the senior and all of their surroundings. So I'm going to just take 1 second and recognize my buddy, Pat Clothier, because every time I come up with an idea, Pat is right there behind me, supporting me and saying this is a great idea and we need to roll this out into Oakmont and let people know what you're doing. And so Pat, I really thank you because you are the person that really inspires me to do more things in the community and to be a better person and help more people. So without further ado, I'm going to call Chef Charles up here, aka Chef August, because Chef Charles manages the preparation and menus of the 260,000 meals that we prepare for Meals on Wheels every year. But his alternative ego is Chef August, and that's the person who creates the stage menu and meals and who developed this program. So I'm going to let him talk to you about that for a little bit.
Thank you all. I hope you like it. Thank you. I was brought on board about a year and a half ago after Chef Joseph, I don't know, many of you may know Chef Joseph Keller, said what you guys really need to do is hire a chef. And he did a little search, and actually this is a funny story. I wasn't really looking for a new job. I was working for a company up in San Jose, and I was pretty happy. But unbeknownst to me, my wife was not very happy. Because we were looking at moving down to San Jose, and she was like, I can't live down there. So without any notice to me, she sent my resume into Council on Aging, and I got a call. And I got a call, and I'm like, hello, Sure, who is this? And so I'm like, all right. So I called my wife, and she fessed up. I went to the interview, and we had a good old time, and we seemed to like each other, and it was a cause that I could get behind, and I thought we could do some wonderful things together. So I came aboard. We moved out here, moved to Glen Ellen, so now I'm committed. We bought a house. I have to stay. But one of the ideas and one of the thoughts that we did was, let's make our food exceptional. Let's not only feed the seniors and help them with a friendly face every morning, but let's give them the quality of life and food that a food culture and a food society here in Sonoma County deserve. So with that in mind, we went about revamping our Meals on Wheels meals, looking at new recipes, and still following the rigid nutrition guidelines set by our AAA funder. And we were able to finesse some things here, and now we have, I think, exceptional food for our Meals on Wheels program. And then we thought, oh, you know, it's really good. I bet everybody else who wouldn't necessarily think about becoming a Meals on Wheels recipient would like it. And so the meals, the food you're sitting here are some of the meals that we've actually served on our Meals on Wheels routes. And some of the menus that we have served them. The meatloaf is the exact same. Our macaroni and cheese is the exact same. But these are hopefully you all who aren't necessarily thinking about Meals on Wheels, but would like to get a home delivered meal nonetheless. So that was our idea, and that's what we did. And this is kind of the fruits of that. And then we were also speaking with TJ Lowell, who is the CEO at G&G Grocery Stores in Sonoma. I think it's Santa Rosa, here in Santa Rosa and Petaluma. He goes, I would love to work with Council on Aging. And I'm like, well, I have an idea. So now we put these very same meals that we're introducing to you into the grocery store at G&G. So now anybody in the county can go into G&G and buy them. You have to be 60 and older for us to come deliver to you. So not everybody gets delivery. And then all the money that we make within G&G, with the money that we sell these to our clients and hopefully to you all, wink, wink, will go back into supporting the Meals on Wheels programs here in Sonoma County. So hopefully you like it. And although it's a good cause, my main concern is that you like it. Because if you don't, yeah, you'll try it, but that would be it. So I hope you like it.
So Charles is being very modest, so I'm going to give you a little more information. Typically, what happens is we have the Meals on Wheels program, we ask for a donation. I'm not sure if everybody realizes this, but the Council on Aging is a nonprofit. Does everybody know that?
Yes.
So oftentimes we hear, oh, you're a federal agency, oh, you're subsidized by the government, and that really is not the fact. So oftentimes our Meals on Wheels go to the lower income, homebound seniors. We request a donation of $4 per meal, and the return on our $260,000, our 260,000 meals that we serve every year is about $1 a meal. So we had to do something very creatively, given the economic situation, to fund the Meals on Wheels program so we could keep it alive. Enter Charles. Charles is the one that came up with this very entrepreneurial, for-profit side of our nonprofit, in which every meal that's sold through Stage, through G&G, all of the profits go to support the Meals on Wheels program. So you see how wonderful this is? I mean, it is a brilliant idea. And so rolling that out to the people of Sonoma County has been a big benefit for us and for the Meals on Wheels program. Homebound seniors that really do need, number one, the visit and very nutritiously balanced meal. So, so anyway, it's one of those truly wonderful things that one thing helps another go around. Another thing that Charles and I, we put our heads together. So I've been with Council on Aging for about 2 months, maybe 3 months. And so I came in with 100 ideas, and the CEO said, go do it. So that's kind of how the Kibbles of Kindness program was born. But we also were looking at waste in the kitchen. We're looking at waste out of the kitchen and reducing our carbon footprint. So I do a lot of work with former foster youth. I'm the president of the Valley of the Moon Children's Foundation. I'm very ingrained into the lives of those kids. We had meals that were left over at the end of the day. And so now we're supporting not only former foster youth in Sonoma County with those meals, we're also linked up with a group called Voices, which is a service resource center for former foster youth, and another group called WOW, Worth Our Weight. And they are training the young people to be chefs and baristas and sous chefs. And so the executive director of WOW came to me the other day and said, "Hey, Laura, I hear you're giving meals to Voices, to those youth." I said, "Yes, we are. Can you drop some meals off for us?" "Yes, we can." So when you kind of think about this whole intergenerational thing that's happening now, where you really want to tie people back to not putting people in buckets like here's the young kids, here's the old kids, and here's the seniors, we're really trying to tie everything back together to give people who are former foster youth who may not have a sense of family understand that here's a program that serves seniors, but we're also serving them. And the response we're getting from that is pretty huge. I frankly feel like Santa Claus almost every day when I deliver meals to these young at-risk youth who have aged out of foster care. And I know that all of our drivers feel like Santa Claus every day when they deliver meals to the seniors. So we're all kind of, I call Santa's elves, I guess, because there's only one Santa Claus, right? So anyway, we, in implementing the zero waste policy out of our kitchen, have been able to serve a lot more people in Sonoma County. And I think that it's really great to be a part of that. So we appreciate all your support today. We appreciate you for showing up. Hopefully you like the wonderful food and wine. And that's the end of, questions.
Laura, yes.
Jim, question? Come on, really?
One,
What?
can you explain to the people how the youth are also involved with your kitchen and stuff like that?
Yes.
So that it's more integrated.
Right. So as our kitchen gets busier and Charles needs to hire more folks, we have started the process of talking with Evelyn over at Worth Our Weight, who is training chefs and chef prep folks to say, hey, here's a place where they can get hired. So it really is that full circle. We're helping them eat, we're hoping to help them get jobs, and they're having more understanding about volunteering and helping seniors in our community.
Yes. I have a couple of questions. One, can you ask regarding the menu, if it could be low salt? Because my wife is on a stringent diet. I just wonder if you can ask the chef, can it be low salt? And the other question is this always the same menu, or do you change the menu monthly? Or
Read the back of the sheet.
Low salt, chef.
Okay. So as we developed the menu, we did develop the menu with our seniors in mind who do have a lot of dietary needs. Well, one of the things that we tried to do was set every menu and every meal to be not a low salt but a moderate salt meal. We put in just as much as we absolutely need to and no more. We don't oversalt it for preservative reasons. So most of our meals that you see on the menu right there have a salt content for the whole meal of about 400 milligrams per serving, and a serving is a whole meal. There are a couple that are a little bit higher salt for various reasons. The teriyaki salmon because of the soy sauce, and gnocchi that you had here earlier just because of the ham. But the macaroni and cheese and the meatloaf are about 450. But we do have the nutritional information for everything that you have there. So if you have any curiosity as to the nutritional value or whether or not it meets your dietary needs, we can certainly get that information to you.
And then the menu.
Oh, the menu does change. We are always looking at new things. Right now, it's set for as we gear up and get everything ready to go. It's set for about, I think we're gonna run this menu for another 4 months, and then we're gonna start rotating 2 things at a time out of it. So you'll eventually see new things come on the menu. Yeah, because they're made up. We cook them daily, but they are made up without any pre-orders, and we kind of have to stick to what we do. There are a couple things that we can do, and we do a couple variations. Like if you don't want mashed potatoes, we do the roast potatoes, and some of them that we will switch that in and out of pretty easily. So if you have a special request and you get it to us in time within 48 hours, we can make a special one for you.
How far ahead do you normally order?
The day before.
Oh. So you can't order more than a day before, too?
How about, before we get all those questions, I think the questions are now going, how does this whole program work? Why don't I go into how the whole thing works and see if this answers all the questions, or a lot of them. How's that?
Good.
Okay, so you all have an order form in front of you, and what you would do is you would fill it out based on the day that you want your meal delivered. You can just order one day at a time and give us a call at the number on the sheet and order for tomorrow. And the cutoff time is 3 o'clock every day. So we take all our orders in by 3 o'clock, and then we put them on the board and get them out to you. And you will have them during your normal meal delivery every day.
There are two items that I don't see on your menu. Salads for fresh vegetables and soups.
We tried doing salads, but they didn't have enough shelf life on them, so we had to discontinue the salads. And soups were too messy. It doesn't seal as well as would like it to be, and so the soups would always pop the plastic off, and it would go everywhere. So we had to discontinue soups as well. So you can place your order. You set up an account with us, and you do that just by filling out the form with your name and address, and then with your first order, that is how you fill out your account. And now we have your information, and that's all we need. When you place your order, you can issue a check, or you can call us with a credit card number, and it will be on file, and then you can just start calling in your order. If you don't want to put a credit card on file, you just give a check to your driver with your new order moving forward. With Stage, it's me. It is. So it all goes to my voicemail, unfortunately. If I'm sitting at my desk, I do always answer the phone. But with being in the kitchen, I'm in the kitchen a lot and I can't hear it. But yeah, you get a call back with me that same day. So, but otherwise, I will answer the phone. Yeah.
Repeat the question, yeah.
Yes, you can. And you can order as far into the future as you think you would like to. We actually have people who send me 6 months at a time. No, well, she has a credit card on file, so it's billed. It's billed as she receives the meal. If you wanted to just order like every week and order 3 days a week, you would give a check to the driver. Or if you had a credit card on file, we would just get it and then you would be charged with it. Yes.
Can you give the credit card to the driver?
No. We actually, yeah. Well, especially here for Oakmont, the drivers are volunteers within the Oakmont community. Once they've delivered your meal, they don't actually come back to us. So giving them kind of cash, we would never want you to give them cash. We don't want anybody knowing that they might have cash on them. So, but a check will drop off in our box over there.
Can you order lunch or dinner?
When you eat it is up to you.
When do you order?
Oh, it gets delivered during the noontime hour. So between 11 and 1 is usually when all the deliveries are made.
Okay, that's what
Yep.
They deliver it,
How do you keep it warm in the microwave?
They're all chilled meals, so they all come refrigerated. They last. We have a shelf life of them on 7 days, so you can eat them with any time within 7 days. You put them in the microwave for about 3 minutes, or in the oven for about 10. And every package has its little instruction thing that goes on. Yeah.
Would you address the issue of people who might want to order meals for a limited time, say they're coming out of the hospital and they need help for a week or two?
Oh, absolutely. So once you can order whenever and how often or however little that you would like to. If I said that correctly. So if you want to just try it for 1 week, just try it for 1 week. If you have a specific amount of time or a hip replacement surgery or whatever it might be, you can just order during that, period of time.
Do you call the day before?
Yes, 3 o'clock the day before is the cutoff.
Before 3 o'clock?
Yep. And you can order you can order for the whole year.
But you can order for one day.
You can order for one day as well.
And you order for 2 people.
You can have it as many people as you want. You can order multiple items. You can order 1. You can order 2, 1,000.
I'm sorry, I came in late.
Oh, it's no problem. So, however many meals you want on any given day is how many you can order. Don't worry, we will make more. So, however many you want.
The driver comes to your home.
Correct. Drops it off, says hello, how are you doing, and then goes away.
Gotta be there.
Yeah.
What time do you usually run?
They usually come between the 11 and 1 o'clock hour. But once you figure out what time they come, that's usually when they come from that point on. So if they on Monday they come at 12:15. That's about the time they usually get there every time.
Will they leave it at the doorstep?
We will not leave it at the doorstep. They will try a couple times to get to you. All the invoices that go out do have your phone number on it, so they will try to call you to make sure that you're home. Because realistically, if someone's ordered something and they're not home, well, we want to find out why. Because usually it's not, I went to play golf, it's I've fallen and I've hurt myself and I can't get to the door. So.
If you left a note on the door that you won't be in, but you leave the meal.
No, because we need the meals are refrigerated, and if we just left it out, it would get too warm, especially during the summertime, even during the winter, and then we would risk contamination and going bad.
So you could leave it for a drop off at the neighbor.
You could just say, give this to my neighbor and I will pick it up. And as long as the neighbor's home, we will do that.
I was just gonna say, what about if you had a cooler outside?
No.
Nice try.
You're not the first person to ask that question. So don't worry about
If you had a refrigerator outside.
it. Yeah.
Repeat the question.
Correct. As long as we have your understanding that that's what we're going to do, we will put that note on there. They'll knock first, obviously, and then they'll come in. Because these people delivering to you and to everyone else are your neighbors, and they eventually become your good friends. So.
Is the item frozen or just chilled?
It's just chilled. Yeah. We will deliver to every house here in Oakmont. So.
How about outside of Oakmont?
Outside of Oakmont as well. As long as you're 60 years old or over, we will deliver to you. If you're under 60, give or take a couple months, we encourage you to go to G&G grocery store.
Just show ID?
No.
There's always a snack.
I know.
I don't know if this matters to people, but I ran into a woman who worked for Meals on Wheels this morning. And she said, oh, that place is so clean. You Clorox every morning, the people wear hairnets and gloves. That might be reassuring to the nurses and the doctors in the audience, or anybody who, might be concerned. I guess you guys are super clean, maybe more clean than restaurants.
We're actually inspected by, 6 different governmental organizations. The General County Board of Health comes in, which by the way, they came in Monday and we got 100%. Which I was very upset with because you don't give the inspector something, I feel like they get a little upset. They're not happy. But it's not only, it's them, but it's our AAA funders who come in. It's Laura, who inspects us all the time. We have our nutrition auditor who inspects us as well. And then we also now have our 6th person, which is the packaging, I don't forget the name, but they're the people who monitor packaging for retail sales. They have to come in now twice a year and inspect us. So they come in as well.
I'm not much of a cook, so I don't know the answer.
I like people like you.
But the man who asked about, Jerry's the one who asked about the salt. We are all supposed to be cutting down on salt. Would it be just something to think about maybe in a few months down the road? Could you just cook it without salt and let people add it?
As a chef,
Yeah, I knew. I
let's
knew
talk.
that was your
Let's talk
answer.
about as a chef now. A concerned person who is actually trying to provide you guys with a healthy product. I understand where you're going. I think within our society, what has happened is that the packaged meal industry has gone overboard with the salt. And they have overcompensated and put in too much salt specifically because they want to increase the shelf life on their product. And if I added a lot of salt, it certainly would make the food saltier, but it would also, I could get probably double the shelf life I get right now, which 14 days, if I just doubled the salt. Because we make our food every single day, I only need to put in the salt that is there for the flavor of the food. So if something ends up, as we do the nutritional analysis, if something ends up being salty, there's generally a reason for it. It's because an ingredient has a lot of salt in it. Like the ham just has a tremendous amount of salt in it. So when we make it, it rises the salt content. Our AAA guidelines for salt are for the whole day under 1,200 milligrams of salt for the whole day per meal. That means 1/3 of that can be dedicated to one meal. And as we built these menus, we took that into consideration. It wasn't our only consideration. So we did tailor these particular meals where we could to meet that guideline. So that's why you'll only see about 400 milligrams of salt generally in our meal. And again, we do have some things that are higher salt content just because of an ingredient need. Now, as a chef, I know that if I put a little salt in at the beginning of the preparation, it goes a very long way. And you will get a better flavor meal as opposed to if you put it in at the end of it. If you put it at the end of it, all you're going to get is something that tastes salty. If you put it in the beginning, you're going to get something that tastes like whatever it is that you're making. It'll taste like chicken, it'll taste like beef, it'll taste like pork. And that's where we put in the salt. So just to leave it out altogether would just cause you all to go, this is kind of bland, and then dump a lot of salt in it, and then it would be worse, in my opinion. My wine connoisseur.
Are there any meals with low sugar, low starch content?
Yeah, actually there are. The chicken, the oven-braised chicken has low starch. It has brown rice, but primarily it's brown rice, lentils, and no, I forget. But it's more of a lentil pilaf than it is a rice pilaf, so it's low in carbohydrates. The meatloaf, if you didn't eat the potatoes, would be low starch. Actually, let's get back to your question real quick.
What's the refrigerator life of the items?
7 days.
Would it be a reasonable thought to consider of maybe putting on some meals, such as this ham, what the salt factor is, as opposed to maybe the norm might be 400 or less?
Yeah, every meal that you get is packaged and it has the nutritional data on the meal itself. So it has the nutritional bar with how much sodium, how many calories, how much fat, how much this and that. It has it. So it all comes on the packet. Yeah. We have a wonderful volunteer recruitment manager. Her name is Michelle Leonard. As we gear up, she is actively looking for drivers for us with that anticipation in mind. So within the Oakmont community, she has sent out words to the volunteer, I don't know, whatever the volunteer organization here in Santa Rosa is. Within you, we have some people who would love to volunteer for it as well. So we are actively looking for more volunteers.
So, and I really want to say thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us. We really appreciate it. This is our first really large demonstration since we rolled this out, and having your input and your questions really does help us grow and provide better services, so we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I might just address the challenge.